it's official. Apple has sent out the press invites and even posted on their website that there will be an event that'll be live streamed at the Apple Steve Jobs Theater on March 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. While many of you may not think this confirms anything, I think it actually does. So today we'll be talking about all the things you should expect just around the corner. Let's begin. So Apple sent out these invites saying it is showtime, which I think is of course alluding to what we've heard so much about, the Apple TV streaming service. That I think is almost 100%. At this point, there's a lot of people saying the event will only be about Apple services, between the Apple Magazine subscription service or the Apple TV subscription service, which is a competitor to Netflix, the inevitable Disney Plus. But personally, I think from this event invite that shows the Apple logo kind of on a space gray finish, that alludes to the fact that there should be some hardware expected at this event. Also, we have gotten not huge refreshes, but over the past 3 years and even earlier, we have seen some type of hardware refresh or update in the spring timeframe. Last year, we got the 2018 budget iPad with Apple Pencil support. Before that, we didn't get an event, it was just a website refresh, but we got the product red iPhone 7 alongside the new budget iPad. Before that, they actually did live stream the event and unveiled the iPhone SE alongside the 9.7-inch iPad Pro. So knowing that they're live streaming this event and putting out the event on the front page of their website, that is automatically different and in my opinion a bigger deal than last year's March event, because while they did send out invites to the press, they didn't put it on the front page of their website and they didn't live stream it. You had to watch the event after it was live or hear about it from people that were at the event and kind of live tweeting it. So not necessarily as exciting in that regard, but this one is a full-blown event, and usually any product that's announced at the Steve Jobs Theater is a pretty big deal. Now, given the leaks and rumors that we heard, I don't expect there to be a huge product announcement, but I do expect a lot of little things to be announced alongside this event, with of course the main attraction of the show being the TV service and the subscription service. But I do not think that means that there will be no hardware mentioned. If all goes according to plan and our rumors and our leakers were correct, you should be expecting a budget iPad with Touch ID, headphone jack, not too much fancy specs there, just a slightly upgraded version of the 2018 iPad at an affordable price point alongside the iPad Mini 5. This could be the year they decide to drop that number and maybe they'll just call it the new iPad Mini, but I imagine it to either have an A10 or an A11 chip so that it's fast and up-to-date and ready to support iOS 13 as well as future operating systems yet to come. And there's even some talk that we could get a light AirPods refresh, not necessarily an entire sequel, an entire update to the AirPods, but perhaps just the optional wireless charging case. It depends on which analysts you ask, but some analysts are saying that right now you're just going to get the option to get that wireless charging case, and then later in September this year they will fully refresh the AirPods line, and those are the ones that'll have improved sound quality, multiple color options, and a bunch of new features that our current generation AirPods don't have, and likely with a price jump. And in March you'll get a very, very slight update to the AirPods, likely just wireless charging support, and dare I say even maybe an AirPower unveiling, and I'm always hesitant to say that. If anything, I hope this event kind of kills off AirPower if it's not ready yet, but to be frank with you, there have been plenty of analysts saying that there are insider sources and factories that have put AirPower into production. It's a little bit thicker than they originally thought. You can decide for yourself whether or not to believe these rumors. Either it's dead entirely or this has to be it. Of course AirPower is finally coming at this event. Either way though, it's going to be awkward because that thing is late and it has taken far too long for them to unveil it. If this ends up being the unveiling for finally AirPower, here's the price point, here's when it'll be available, and here's when it starts shipping. Like I said, there's a couple people that are saying it's going to happen, but those same people have also said AirPower is coming out before and been wrong. So all I'm saying is don't get your hopes too high, because that is definitely skeptical. There was also a fairly sketchy report claiming that a product red version of the iPhone XS would be coming out near the spring timeframe. That's not to say necessarily that it's coming out at this event. In fact, every year that Apple has mid-iPhone cycle released a product red version of an iPhone, it actually hasn't been at an event. In 2017, it was via website refresh. They just said, oh, by the way, the iPhone 7's in red now. In 2018, it was also a website refresh. They didn't talk about it at the education event. They just legit one day said, yeah, you know what? We're going to make a product red iPhone 8. Let's just release that now. So if in fact they decide to release a product red XS, it could even happen before this event takes place, or perhaps because they're very proud of the design and likely trying to get stainless steel to look that shade of red would be rather difficult. Perhaps they'll dedicate a small portion of this keynote to say, we're very excited for all the innovative technologies we built into the iPhone XS, and to celebrate it, we're now launching it in this new product red color that'll be available later this week. The rumors and the people saying that there is going to be a product Red 10S are not kind of that big, and they're not known for being that reliable. So once again, kind of bunch the product Red 10S in with AirPower and say that's probably not going to happen, but it's still somewhat possible. We've gotten red iPhones the past 2 years. Why wouldn't we get it a third year? Maybe because we already have a product red iPhone, the 10R. And who knows, maybe at this event they'll decide to launch 2 more iPhone 10R colors, whether it's purple Thanos phone or green to celebrate Apple's continued support of saving the environment. Who knows? There haven't been any leaks or rumors to suggest that, but everything's up to speculation. Things I wouldn't expect you guys to get excited about at this event is any type of MacBook refresh. I think the closest thing we got to a MacBook refresh already happened just a few months ago at the October event, so don't expect a MacBook to be unveiled even if the event looks like the Apple logo of a MacBook. In my opinion, it's most likely the back of an iPad because there's supposed to be more affordable iPads at this event, perhaps even slimmer bezels on that budget version, and of course the final and long overdue refresh of the iPad mini, so perhaps a lot of people are excited for that. People who like that smaller form factor and like to use a tablet in a much more compact way, and also not break the bank account because it's reported that the iPad mini 5 could start theoretically below $300, which for Apple is insanely cheap, and I really hope that ends up happening. But what's more likely, given this is Apple, is that redesigned 2018 iPad that we'll now be calling the 2019 iPad, that'll have slimmer bezels and pretty good specs, so they'll decide to raise the price of it to something like $400, and then the iPad mini 5 will start at $329. That way they can say, well, in the budget iPad department, they start at $330. That's what they're saying now. If they update the iPad lineup like that, then they'll be able to keep saying that that's the starting price of iPads. Personally, for products I would make investments in this event, if everything I talked about ends up happening, I would absolutely order a product Red 10S. That looks incredible, and huge shout out to iUpdate for making these incredible concepts of what that could look like. And yeah, even though I'm using the Galaxy S10 right now, and after this I'll probably go back to the 10R, I promise you, if the product Red 10S happens, goodbye 10R. I'm going back to the 10S Max, and I'll probably get a larger storage option because I could probably use it anyway. The wireless charging AirPods case would be really, really helpful to me, as I have a ton of wireless chargers and I still enjoy using AirPods even though I have Galaxy Buds around. So yeah, if that's an optional add-on that you can buy for hopefully under $100, but who knows, it is Apple, then yes, I'll be buying those as well. Don't expect me to buy and try out the budget iPads though, because, you know, they came out last year and I decided to pass on them just because they're not that exciting. They're not really products with new features or new experiences I haven't shown you guys in the past or tested out before. All they're really good at is giving you what we've had before at more affordable price points. So iPad mini 5, 2019 iPad, I don't really think I need to buy and unbox those because you have seen an iPad mini before. You don't need me to unbox that and tell you, well, it works. I don't know. Maybe there's enough people interested in it. We'll see. But if AirPower ends up coming out though, oh my God, I'm just gonna be relieved that the wait is over and the meme can die. But yeah, here's hoping March marks the end of the AirPower skepticism. Anywho, let me know what products at this event you're interested in trying out. Personally, I also need to see at this event what movies and TV shows Apple's gonna be offering with their TV subscription service to decide whether or not it's worthy for me to sign up for, because I'm very selective with which content I watch. Plus, I'm already paying for YouTube Premium, Netflix, and Hulu, and Amazon Prime Video. I've got a ton of streamable content already. Do I really need to spend the extra $10 or potentially $15, $20, however much it's going to cost? Do I really need to spend all that on movies and TV shows I'll barely watch? Who knows? And the magazine subscription service, even more so, sounds like something I wouldn't have much interest in because I never like paying for those news article sites. I just use standard Twitter and Apple News to get my news anyway. Let me know what you guys are most excited for and what you plan on investing in after the products and services are launched at this event. All that good stuff, put it down there in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.